There aren't any killers in the UK. There's just some tough guys. They won't come kill us. No, they won't come kill us, 'cause you can even show your address here in America. Top 5. Whose real name is Hassan Ali, was sitting in his car after the concert when a group showed up and started wrecking the vehicle. Ali got stabbed in the leg during the fight. No one's been arrested yet. Right now, police believe this might have been a planned threat to Mr. Graham's life. That's a real quote from someone working the case. And yes, they're talking about Drake. Right after Drake's performance at the Wireless Festival in London last weekend, a crowd surrounded one of the cars and his guy, Top 5, got stabbed in the neck. But this didn't seem random. Police in the UK now think this may have been a setup against Drake, but there are other ideas going around. Some people think this all started when Top 5 went on livestream and mocked UK gangs. There aren't any killers in the UK, just serious guys. They won't come kill us. No, so since Top 5 was talking big just hours before the stabbing, some say it was just street revenge. But others think there's more behind it. Another theory links it to Drake's legal fight with his label, UMG. You might have heard that Drake is suing UMG for defamation over Kendrick's diss track, Not Like Us. And on top of that, Drake's stuck in a 360 deal with UMG and wants out badly. But there's a third theory about the London stabbing, and it's wild. Some people now think Drake might be using the stabbing to shift public opinion and make himself look like a victim. So what really went down in London that night? Was it a warning, a message from the label, or is Drake trying to spin things and play victim again? Yo, talk. Welcome to the city, brother. Welcome to the city, brother. Money, man. Forward, bro. His car's on. Yo, what we got? Yo, fine. Here's what happened right after Drake left the Wireless Festival stage. On July 13th, a crowd suddenly rushed his car. Out of nowhere, tons of people surrounded the vehicle. In all the madness, Top 5 got stabbed. There's now a video going around that shows people climbing on the car, jumping on the windshield, and trying to smash it. Who's that? What the chill, oh my? Then about 3 people started kicking the driver while he was still in the front seat. Everyone had their phones out, recording like it was a show. Even the car parked next to them got stomped. At last, the driver got away. But it was later reported that Top 5 was in the car and had been stabbed several times. So what caused all this? First, keep in mind, just days before this happened, Drake made waves online by saying London has the best lyricists in the world. _ tatted on me. This my brother right here, a real legend. Drake said, when I speak on my love for London and its rappers best in the world, no lie, I don't care what anyone says. No one raps better than London. No disrespect to the US, no hate to my own country, but London rappers are on top. That's who I look up to. This man right here. Asterisk, but then Top 5 added fuel to the fire. He jumped on livestream and started talking trash about the UK, saying there are no real killers in London. That's a great question. There's no killers in the UK, there's just serious guys. They're not going to kill us. No, they're not going to kill us. It's safe. You can even show your address here in America. Now listen. All right, I'm going to shower. Apparently, that live stream is what made people come after Top 5. The good news is, no one died. And Top 5 already posted on Instagram that he's okay, but he also hinted that someone tried to kill him. He even posted that famous picture of Trump after he survived an attack last year. Top 5 shared a message about his faith, thanked God, and wrote, some were blessings and some were lessons. But that's not everything. A source from Drake's team said UK police are now looking at the stabbing as part of a bigger plan targeting Drake himself. Remember, it's just a few days before the London incident, Drake dropped a video for his new song, What Did I Miss?, where he raps while surrounded by guns and snipers. And now there's a screenshot of what looks like security footage from the day Top 5 got stabbed, showing a group of mystery men following Drake's convoy through East London. So who's being real here? Is someone really coming for Drake, or is he trying to make us think that? Let's talk about who might gain something if Drake disappeared. One idea is that his own label, Universal Music Group UMG, is behind it. Here's why. For years, UMG treated Drake like their top star. MG CEO, Lucien Grang, once said Drake could ask for anything. And they'd pay. Drake once rapped, "Tell Lucy I'm blowing the budget." Did he call you after that line and ask for more money for his album? Well, if Drake ever calls and asks for more money, I give it to him. In 2021, Drake signed a massive deal with UMG said to be worth $400 to $500 million. He bragged on the song Major Distribution, saying $500 million just for Aubrey. But things later went bad between Drake and UMG. It all came out when his fight with Quai Wolves. Kendrick exploded. When Kendrick accused Drake and his OVO crew of being linked to that rumored PDF group. MG supposedly told Drake to stand down. That's because Kendrick made it sound like the group might include not just Drake and his team, but some top music bosses too. On Meet the Grams, Kendrick rapped about creepy stuff going on and said some artists are used to control others. He accused them of showing victims in their homes and leaking videos to push shady agendas. He even compared Drake to Diddy, hinting that Drake's home, the embassy, could be the next place raided. But there are more pieces to this. Remember? The lawsuit that producer Lil Rod filed against Diddy. He actually named UMG and Lucien Grang in that lawsuit. Lil Rod said Lucien helped fund and attend Diddy's wild parties where underage guests were present. He also claimed Diddy had video recordings of Lucien and other big names. Lil Rod's lawsuit said Lucien supported Diddy's actions by giving him lots of cash, which made the crimes possible. Now look at the timeline. Lil Rod filed the lawsuit in February 2024. In March, Homeland Security raided Diddy's homes and took all the tapes. Then news came out that UMG and Lucien Grang had been removed from the lawsuit. But just when it seemed like UMG had escaped the Diddy mess, Kendrick dropped his diss, calling Drake a certified PDF and saying he'd dig deeper to expose the music industry. Meanwhile, Drake kept blaming UMG for letting Kendrick diss him so hard. MG had to remind Drake who's in control. They gave him nearly $500 million for a 360 deal, one of the biggest ever. That deal includes everything: his songs, merch, tours, and rights. Basically, MG owns Drake's whole career. According to Joe Budden, that's why Drake's always on tour and dropping albums back to back. Joe Budden said, "I never trusted that big headline about $400 to $500 million a year." He kept pointing out how weird it is that Drake tours so much. That's not normal unless you have to do it, unless the deal makes you. It's in the contract, someone said. When you drop an album, you have to tour. Maybe even do to a year. They're working him hard. Whatever Drake signed, it doesn't look like he wanted this life. That's the thing about 360 deals. They're not like the old ones where artists kept money from merch and concerts. Now the label gets a cut from everything. That also means they call the shots. They might push artists to chase what's trending, even if it's not what they want to make. It can hurt their creativity and their bond with fans. Over time, many artists, especially black artists, have said these deals are unfair and controlling. They don't just take your music. They own your shows, your clothes, your endorsements, your whole image. They trick people, one said. Once the artist builds their fan base, they act like the label is still needed for the next level, and that's how they take full control. They take 360 degrees of your life, just like that. And now, artists start saying things like, "The label lets me do this." Even legends like Prince and Michael Jackson had to fight to own their music. Michael Jackson didn't even want to do his last tour, but he was pushed into it through sneaky contracts. He even warned his family that powerful people might try too. Kill him because of it. Michael always told me, said LaToya, if I die, they're going to murder me. They're going to kill me. When I found out he passed, I said it wasn't an accident. It was murdered. And the sad part is, then after MJ died, the label he accused of trying to silence him still made money off his name. Prince also fought hard against unfair record deals. He said labels shouldn't even exist anymore. With the internet, artists can release music on their own, he said. Why do we need record labels? They shouldn't own your album or your songs. These are copyrights, your ideas. He added, they'll probably cut this part out, but I'm saying it anyway. If they're just delivering music, that's fine. But even FedEx doesn't claim to own the packages they deliver. Why should record labels own our songs? He explained how they copy the music and keep one for themselves. Then send out copies to everyone else. In 2014, Prince finally got back the rights to his music after fighting for years. But less than 2 years later, he suddenly died from a suspected overdose. Maybe it was just a sad accident, but knowing what we do about the music business, people still raise questions. This is the same thing Cat Williams warned about in a recent interview. He said all these artist deaths aren't just bad luck. When someone famous in music dies, there's usually a rich person at the top making big money from it. When rappers die, it's not random, Cat said. Someone makes $100 million and never has to deal with that artist or their people again. No more contract talks, no more problems. Just deal with their mom once a year and that's it. And the money keeps going up. They might kill someone worth $20 million, but turn that into $60 million in profits. Now fans are starting to connect the dots. They're saying if Drake keeps going against UMG, things could get really bad for him. Because if even legends like Prince and Michael couldn't beat the system, what chance does Drake have? Drake has been trying to get out of his deal with UMG for a long time. If he leaves, UMG could lose hundreds of millions from music rights, streams, and licensing. And big labels don't just let their top star walk away without a fight. That's why some people believe the London stabbing wasn't random. They think it might have been a warning, telling Drake to back off and stop messing with UMG's money. But there's one more theory about the stabbing. Some people now think the attack wasn't even real. Or at least not as serious as it sounds. What if Drake and his crew are exaggerating the whole thing to cover something bigger? Lately, Drake's been taking lots of losses. He lost one of the biggest rap beefs ever. People online are mocking him for his weak lyrics and even calling out his fake abs. But the timing of the London incident feels a little too perfect. This might be Drake's way of changing the story, especially since his lawsuit against UMG isn't going great. He's struggling to find people to testify for him, experts say. His case is weak because it's hard to prove UMG defamed him. But here's the part most folks missed. Just 2 days after Top 5 got stabbed, Hot New Hip Hop reported that Drake spent $75,000 to hire 2 private investigation teams. He's trying to force Toronto rapper Kojo Mane Asamoah to testify, Drake says. Kojo helped UMG fake the success of Not Like Us. But even now, they still can't find where Kojo is hiding.